Bruno Fernandes, Real Madrid links. It is international break. Not a lot of good rumors out there. They had to come up with something to stick. This one from the Daily Star. Obviously, it's a rag. It's a throwaway rumor, but we got to talk about €100 million bid, 84 million pounds, considered by Real Madrid, looking for another playmaker. Modric on the way out. Madrid's at the top of the mountain, new stadium, flush with cash. We should be there. We're not.
Someday.
And
maybe.
they're coming to pick up our scraps. To be honest, that is a solid bid for Bruno. I think if you're serious about a rebuild from Amorim, you could push it to 100 million pounds. To say no would be kind of crazy. I think as much as Bruno is integral to this team, we have to be thinking like rebuilding the existing squad. Where's the money? Would you rather sell Garnacho for 60 or sell Bruno for 100 and rebuild? He's our best player, but I feel like sometimes you got to make these tough decisions. They're already on our plate. These tough decisions are on our plate. What do you think, Bruno Fernandes?
I love Bruno. You know, I'm a big Bruno guy. You know that back since the day he joined, and I think he represents what United needs. You know, a little too much whinging, but at the end of the day, he works his ass off, and the numbers don't lie. But this number don't lie either. Someone comes knocking for a 30-year-old player, 84 million pounds. You can't say no. And that's like, it's going to be hard to replace his productivity, the amount of chances he creates. But at the same time, we need money. And he's 30. He's turning 31 in September. And I don't really buy it because the price is so high. But like, he's not a player we should be actively looking to sell. But if someone comes in over the top with a giant offer, that's a giant offer. I would take it. I think you have to take it. It's going to be hard to replace. But like, we need money. And he's 30, like I said. But at the same time, I'd love to see him stay at the club, win something meaningful, but you need cash. And unless we win Europa League or sell one of the other two big youngsters, you know, money's going to have to come from somewhere. Sancho, Rashford, those are hard to come by. So it would pay me, but I could see a world where this happens, just not at that price. I don't see them paying 84 million pounds for Bruno Fernandes today.
Look, they didn't have to spend the money on Trent, right? So it feels like Mbappe did a deal.
That was free too,
like
yeah.
Trent did a deal. Like they got cash to spend. I feel like he's a big name. He would look good wearing that shirt.
Look good wearing white.
He would probably
kill it
over there.
He would kill it.
And it's more about being pragmatic as a United fan to be like, I want Bruno at United. I want to win now, but most likely we're 3 or 4 years away from winning. And why would we put the shackles on Bruno? He's already kind of been on this team for so long, and I wish that we had better players around him. Right now, we don't, and it's going to be a long journey, and so selling him would be a part of that long journey and also letting him kind of realize his potential at Real Madrid, and that's like a tough decision because you want to be selfish, but I do feel like we are in such the hole's going, we're like going farther down, you know, like we went from like firing. Last season was horrible, tough to watch. We win the FA Cup, obviously a false dawn. Ineos get like somehow hook, line, and sinker into that one with Ten Hag, and then fire him, panic. Now we're down at the bottom of the table, and I really feel like you have to hard reset now with this manager, get him the pieces, and the financials are like gravity. Like you got to sell somebody. You got to sell Garnacho, you got to sell Koyumeno, or you got to sell Bruno. And I feel like it's never going to be easy. It's going to be a tough decision, but that type of price, I like to see 100 million pounds. I'd like to see something stupid. I like to get stupid money from Real Madrid, but usually they don't go there. But
84, you know, like more than the original Ronaldo deal, and he's 30. Ronaldo's about like 22. I obviously that's Ronaldo, but still, that would be good money for his age. Also, for Real Madrid, I don't know if this has got any veracity at all, but there is like one point that would make some sense is like he takes incredible care of his body. He's got longevity. Like he could easily play 6-7 years in La Liga and he'd fucking crush. By the way, he would sit there and he would just create chances for Mbappe.
No, I would cheer him on.
So would I.
Vinicius,
and he would have like 25 assists a season, and I'd cheer him on as well. It would sadden me because he's going to be hard to replace. But you need the cash. And like you said, he deserves to win some big shit, and he would win big shit there. He'd win Champions Leagues.
But the one thing about Real Madrid you have to understand is they're just like their ambition like knows no bounds. Like United should be like that, but we're just like numpties, you know. Like we've just made it. Like they made all the right decisions, we made all the wrong ones. Like we're like bizarre Real Madrid. like Barca got him for a while, and then they made every right decision, and now they're on top of the world, and Barca's like in the mud because of financials, and so are we.
Yep.
And this one would be like, imagine bringing in Trent. They have Mbappe. They got all these players, and then you add a Bruno Fernandes, and it's because they can and they have the money, and it's like that would just be a very Real Madrid move, was to be like, no, it's not even. That's not even enough, right? They're like, we need to strengthen even where we're strong, and I feel like it'd be a crazy move. Like you said, the money doesn't make sense to me.
The fee, you mean, right?
The fee doesn't. The fee's a little sensational, but Real Madrid, if you have a good player, they're sniffing. They're sniffing every team. Like, look at Liverpool. Like, Trent Alexander-Arnold on a free. Like,
Gladly.
And you know what? That's the difference. Is like, as long as Bruno's not on a free.
Yeah, that would break my back. Also, he is like right on the edge of a world-class creator of chances, and he would create so many. He would create so many chances over the top, like those dinked balls. He's a hell of a player. It would make sense. I don't want to see him go. I'm a huge Bruno fan. Obviously, he has such a huge role in this team in terms of just like keeping us going, keeping us ticking. But we need cash. You got to sell somewhere. We're not going to get big money for Sancho. We're not going to get big money for Rashford. Anthony, the same case. Kobe, you don't want to sell. Garnacho, you don't want to sell. But Bruno, like if they come knocking, he's not going to be able to say no. And I wouldn't expect him to say no either.
Look, let us know what you think. Obviously, these rumors start out at low sources first and kind of build up, right? So if the likelihood of this happening is pretty much zero, but if there's smoke, there's fire. There could be rumors out here. This could build into the summer. I feel like with Trent kind of wrapped up, Madrid's looking for more headlines, more shirts to sell. They got that new stadium, so they got to fill the seats. He would be a great player. I hate to admit it, but he'd look good, and he'd probably just like be one of their best players. But let us know what you think about Bruno Fernandes. 84 million pounds for Real Madrid. Please like, subscribe to the channel. Also check out our store. You got our merch below on our YouTube channel. Everything you buy supports us. Support the channel. Glory, glory, Manchester United. We'll see you in the next video.